Good evening. This is CTV News for Friday, August 31st. I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, one of the main things that people say they remember about Amber Stanley was her potential. She was an aspiring doctor and a model in her spare time. Then just last week, the Kettering teenager was shot and killed in her home. Denise Douglas has more on Stanley's life from her friends as she is laid to rest.
You are taking a look right now at the hearse that brought Amber Stanley's coffin in. Now, as police continue to look for her killer, friends and family are saying goodbye to the 17-year-old. Her funeral service is being held here at Kentland Community Center.
She was fun, very exciting, loving type person. She loved being around people.
Paul Cherry met Amber Stanley about a year ago. He not only liked her personality, but says she had quite a strut on the runway. They were part of a modeling club.
Just hit the runway. Like, she was one of the best models that I ever seen walk for a 17-year-old. It was just like, wow, amazing.
He and others, still shocked by her brutal murder, came to remember the 17-year-old.
In disbelief, honestly. Couldn't believe it. She was like I said, she was very peaceful and seemed like one of the last people you would think would go by such a violent manner.
Amber was an honor student at Flowers High School with her sights set on studying medicine at Harvard University. Those were her big dreams. In July, Amber did a fashion show. Her friends, not knowing it would be her last, now treasure those moments as they reflect on all that she could have been.
Seemed like she had a lot of potential. I heard that she made the DC Fashion Week, so it's just really sad that she passed 3 days later.
Amber Stanley will be laid to rest at Fort Lincoln Cemetery. I'm Denise Douglas, CTV News.
Meanwhile, Prince George's police have made the unsolved murder of the 17-year-old honor student a top priority. As Manico Bartholomew reports, officers returned to the teen's neighborhood today, continuing their week-long investigation into Amber Stanley's death.
Early Friday morning, peace and quiet in this Kettering neighborhood were replaced by this scene of police cadets swarming the area.
I was a little afraid because when I looked out and saw the cars in front of my window, I thought, what's going on?
What was going on was the response from a tip that led to this expansion of a homicide investigation.
It's a senseless crime that every resource the police department has been brought to the table.
It's been a week since the gunman walked into this home and killed 17-year-old Amber Stanley.
We just lift up in prayer the family and all of the youth and just pray that the person would come forth and realize that he has done something wrong and has devastated the family and the whole community.
According to police, after shooting Amber several times, the suspect simply walked out of Amber's house and walked down the street.
He may have been thinking, I'm not going to bring attention to myself, and I'm going to walk through this neighborhood, and then no one will notice me, because this is a nice neighborhood. It's a safe community. People walk in this neighborhood.
County police canvassed the area from Amber's home throughout the entire neighborhood. They remind anyone with information to give them a call, reminding neighbors that something small can be very significant and may help them close this case. In Kettering, Manico Bartholomew, CTV News.
And police are urging anyone with information regarding Stanley's death to contact them. You can remain anonymous by calling the Crime Solvers hotline at 1-866-411-TIPS. There is a cash reward being offered in this case. Well, the Montgomery County man convicted of killing his former girlfriend at the University of Virginia is sentenced to 23 years in prison. 24-year-old George Hughley was convicted in February for the second-degree murder of Yardley Love and grand larceny. The incident happened in her off-campus apartment in May 2010. Both Hughley and Love were UVA lacrosse players. Well, despite a spike in gas prices and questionable weather from Hurricane Isaac, Marylanders are expected to travel in record numbers this Labor Day weekend. That's according to AAA Mid-Atlantic. An estimated 659,000 people, an increase of 3%, are expected to journey at least 50 miles away from home this holiday. A AAA spokeswoman credits the projected travel volume to the fact that the holiday falls on an earlier date this year, and many residents paid for their leisure plans well in advance. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.